Hi guys, welcome to Elro Crypto. Today we're going to do a Q and A. I got a lot of questions from a lot of old friends that got in touch with me when they heard that I created a channel, and a lot of new friends and subscribers. I've had a lot of DMs on Instagram and on different kind of social media. So I just thought that, yeah, let's do a Q and A, and I'll try to answer the questions that I've gotten most of as simply as I can and as fast as I can, basically. So let's go through them. What's the easiest way for me to get started with Bitcoins? This is actually one of the most common questions I get, especially from people that are not in the market. They come to me and ask me, how do I get started? How do I physically turn my money into a Bitcoin? Can I own a Bitcoin? Can I hold it in my hand? And all of these things, if you don't know how it works, it's kind of hard to explain. So I usually ask them, what's the purpose of you wanting to get into the cryptocurrency business? Is it because you want to long-term invest? Is it because you want to day trade? Is it because you want to speculate? So in order to answer this question, really, you have to have a little more information about what kind of investment the person is trying to make. But I would say the easiest way for you to get your hands on a Bitcoin, which you can own by yourself, is to register at an exchange which you trust. As I've talked before about, you do your research, find one you trust, transfer your money there, buy the coin that you want, and transfer it out to a cold storage wallet. That's the easiest way of getting involved, and that's it. Moving on. Next question is, what do you think will happen if Bitcoin becomes illegal all around the world? Well, this question is also mostly coming from people that don't know how the system works and don't know really the meaning of a decentralized monetary system. Actually, I don't believe it's ever going to become illegal. It's my personal opinion. But to answer the question, what do you think will happen if hypothetically it will become illegal all over the world? I would say nothing at all. I would say that they would make it illegal, but the demand, people have been very clear that they want a decentralized monetary system where they can move assets transparently. And if the banks and other institutions and governments adapt to this, they can move forward together and build blockchain technologies that will benefit all mankind. If not, well, we're going to have a rise in Bitcoin prices at least, and we're going to have a lot more cryptocurrency coming out to counter this action of making it illegal, because the demand is there. The use for the currency, because there is a difference. With physical money, you can only do so much. You have to change it at certain places. Cryptocurrency erases all the borders, it erases all the doubts, and it erases all the need to trust a bank or an institution, because the blockchain does that for you. Now I went on a little too long about this question, but the short answer would be, I don't think it's going to become illegal. And if that does happen, we're just going to see a surge in price in all cryptocurrency. Moving on, next question is, how do you think Bitcoins have affected society from the beginning until today? Well, that's also a really big question, and we can talk about it for hours and hours and hours on end. But to keep it simple, I would say that it has had profound effect on all of our societies. Just the fact that China recently went out and said that they're coming out with their own cryptocurrency that is backed by gold goes to show that a communistic country like China, which is usually closed and very restrictive of new monetary changes, is actually adapting the most modern, and if it's true, obviously, this is, they've announced it, but it's a long way from happening. But if they do announce it, they're ushering in a new era where they will basically kill the dollar, because the dollar is not backed by gold. So when China comes out and says, look, here, we got this coin, it's called China coin, and we got a shit ton of gold to back this up. What do you have, America? You don't got shit. And therefore, they're going to take over that currency market. But that's just a speculation. There are a lot of different things that have to happen in order for that to become reality. But the fact of the matter is that it has still changed the way we think of transaction. It has actually forced the banks and the institutions to look over their rules and their regulations and how to better Be transparent. I mean, when you have situations when you have the Panama leaks and nothing happens, basically you have it black and white. The most wealthy people around the world have hidden their money in offshore accounts. You know, you can't get any more caught red-handed than that. You can't get, any more busted, really. And we all saw the consequences of that. The only thing that basically happened was that the woman that actually exposed this got murdered. So no banks got any penalties. None of the really, some high-profile players and such, they had to pay some penalties, but nobody really had to go to jail and nothing really happened. So fact of the matter is, I think we're at the beginning of a very big change in the way we see money, in the way we use money, and the way we think of currency as a whole. I think that's a very big thing to know and a big thing to acknowledge, because if you don't, you're just going to be, in the back of the line wondering, where are my coins? Why can't I buy a Bitcoin now that it costs several $1,000,000, or whatever coin might come, before or after Bitcoin? So yeah, that's my take on it. The final question is, why are there different prices on different exchanges? This is a really simple answer, and it goes back to the time when there weren't a lot of exchanges and Bitcoin prices were really low. When I started dealing with Bitcoins, it was all the way from, say, $100 to about $350 when I was, eyeing the market and beginning to go into the market. And what you would see is that depending on the size of the exchange, the demand would be different. I mean, if you were looking on Bitstamp, for example, and one day you would hear great news about Bitcoins and the price was going up, then you would see a surge in the Bitcoin price on Bitstamp. While as Kraken, for example, didn't have as many users at that time, perhaps, and didn't have as much demand for Bitcoin, the price of Bitcoin on Kraken was lower than Bitstamp. So basically what we're seeing today is the same thing. It's the amount of demand on that specific exchange that, makes the price. It tells you the price. So do your research. And as I said previously, CoinMarketCap is a great place to get an average. But there is a, pretty big consensus around the world of what a Bitcoin is costing right now. Whether it differs $5 and $10 here and there, it really doesn't matter depending on what exchange you trust. That's basically it, guys. If you have any more questions, please comment below or send me a DM or, contact me any way you want. I'll be happy to answer them as much as I can. And until next time, bye-bye.